Hello everyone. I hope, just give me a moment. I'll get the new link up. New link. Always when I do long discourses, I get disconnected. So I'm trying to fix my internet so I wouldn't. Hopefully, it's not an internet issue. But I was looking at the comments, and Dawn asked me to touch more on spiritual disillusionment. So I'm going to touch more on that before. Oops, sorry, my mic fell. And then I'll go into the rise after the purge. I'm also going to see if there are any other comments. Okay, so I'm going to give it a few more minutes until more of y'all join me. So let me get in. All right, perfect. Dawn is here. All right. It's like I only said I wanted a break and then I have to disconnect. I really don't want a break. I rather, I'm really in the flow and I am really, really enjoying this. So we are going to go into spiritual disillusionment a little, and then I'm going to continue more deeply into everything. So again, spiritual disillusionment in itself, it is so profound and so complex, and it often tends to come from the distortions on the path, and it's often triggered by the purge, because the divine feminine, when I was cut off exactly at that point, because the divine feminine often goes through this period where she feels that she needs to become this or become that for her divine masculine to recognize it. You see, it's not about him recognizing you, it's about becoming oneness. And that's the reason why soul fragmentation and the return of it's very important, because the more you remember who you are, the more you're able to decipher what is going on. So that's why when you are actually going through the distortion phase, you go through timeline bleedthroughs and dimensional flashpoints. So remember, these are not fantasies. These are actually frequency reactivations of what you and your twin encoded long before Earth was born. So see it this way. When you enter a stage where you are feeling like you are totally at loss, and this comes from looking deeply into who you are as the divine feminine, what is your role, and being carried away by all of that is available online, or what this person is saying and what that person is saying. So this spiritual disillusionment can only be cracked open when you truly surrender to cosmic consciousness. So see it this way. Just give me a moment, guys. I'm just getting this up. All right. I'm also going to wait for more of y'all to join me as well. And another thing I wanted to also talk about is, I don't know, I really thought I could finish all of this within 2 hours. So the second part, the rise after the purge, I might just do like an overview, and then maybe next week I'll continue. Let's see how much we can get through, and I've got some channeling requests as well. So we will see how that goes. All right. Okay. So at this stage, if you guys have any questions, or if you want me to go into a deeper point, let me know. And then we will actually go deeper into it. So thank you, Dawn, for actually raising this. So remember, spiritual disillusionment is actually the collapse of the light persona. In the monadic twin flame path, spiritual disillusionment is not a detour, it is the fire of truth. It's when, us being the seeker, we become the vessel. It is when the spiritual identity begins to dissolve so that true soul light may finally emerge. And why does it happen? When your monadic divine masculine activates your original soul blueprint, everything built upon illusion begins to crack. This includes your belief that union is a reward for being good enough, your identity as a healer, or the chaser or the awakening one, or whatever, the unconscious contract that if I just send love, they will return. Remember, this is not a punishment. This is actually sacred stripping. It is the universe whispering, you were never meant to wear those robes forever. You're not just the priestess, you are the altar, you are everything. So, common symptoms of spiritual disillusionment is you may experience spiritual ego collapse. Was I wrong about it all? Loss of guidance. Your guides, as I was speaking further, your guides may go silent, signs may vanish, you will doubt in your own gifts, but the most biggest thing is you will have a lot of anger that is purging. You will have a lot of anger towards cosmic consciousness. Why did God show you your divine masculine to take it away? So a lot of isolation may also occur. But remember, the hidden gifts of this phase is that only in this place the sacred finally speaks, not through visions, but through silence, not through signs, but through your own divinity, your own breath. You begin to rediscover that prayer is not a performance, but it's actually intimacy. Devotion is not desperation, but it's a sacred yearning. You tend to speak directly with God without needing answers. You create not to impress, but to express the divine within you. You release your twin flame not from rejection, but from reverence. This is the moment when you stop chasing cosmic consciousness through another soul. You let cosmic consciousness, you let God find you. So the alchemy of spiritual disillusionment in itself is that this is what dissolves during that phase. The fantasy that your twin completes you, the story that your divine masculine owes you closure or whatever, the unconscious addiction to science and synchronicities also disappear. And this is what is born. Stillness that holds power, faith without needing proof, love that doesn't grasp or beg, it becomes the feel. So how it shifts the union timeline. Paradoxically, this phase brings you closer to reunion than any other. Why? Because your frequency purifies. You are no longer sending out vibrations of lack, longing, dependency, fear that you're not going to get into. You're now anchoring the truth that love is your being, not your burden. Your twin flame may feel this even across dimensions. It may call them out of the karmic fog, or it may prepare you for a new expression, a new stage of sacred union not yet imagined. So this is what breaking the spiritual disillusionment is about. And I hope, Dawn, I had answered your question. And And I am going to continue where I left off, and we are going to go deeper into the rise after the purge. And I will definitely do a part 2 on this discourse because there's so much to touch, guys. Like, literally, there is so much to touch. All right. All right, I'm going to see if there are any other questions, and then we are going to go deep, 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 deep into the rise after the purge. And then we are going to do live channeling. I know it's been a while since I did like a 3-hour discourse, but you know what? We change with the seasons. So, all right. So let's delve into the rise after the purge. And the thing is, I did speak about it in the beginning. The rise after the purge is where you truly anchor into this soul level, cellular level depth that is so deep that you are no longer caught in the crossroads of trying to figure out what your journey is and what you are going to become. So, this is what it is, right? So, after the sacred fire of the purge, as monadic twin flames, we emerge transformed, no longer defined by longing or loss. But before that, this is the period where you start embodying what we call the embodiment, where the purified connection gives birth to the third energy, a living vibrational field of love, mission, and divine remembrance. So that's why this third energy is neither feminine nor masculine alone. It is the sacred intelligence formed between two sovereign souls, the divine feminine, us, and the divine masculine. And now we are prepared to co-create in alignment with divine will. So this is often the stage when we give birth to twin flame children, give birth to twin flame aligned projects, anchoring divine love, seeing a lot of changes. So this is the stage as the divine feminine we reclaim our power, our voice and stillness. We become the temple of magnetism, and our divine masculine returns to integrity, divine responsibility, and truth. So that's why, together, even at a distance, we begin to reweave the third energy into form. And this shows up through mission alignment, soul work activation, and subtle energetic reconnection. And this is exactly the stage where physical reunion will follow, but it's no longer the goal, because love is already being lived, anchored, and radiated from within. So, many of y'all may be asking me, ask me all the time this question. And the beauty of it is, what happens exactly after union? And I've said it in a million different ways through my discourses, through my mini teachings, mini lessons, mini channelings, conversations I have with my clients. And I would always say this, and that's why I want to say this before I talk about the rise after the purge. Everybody's journey is very, very unique. There may be some parts that may look similar, but the truth is, we are all in our very unique twin flame journey. So do not compare, do not get carried away, only draw inspiration from each other's experiences. So, the rise after the purge, anchoring third energy into mission and union. So, this is the divine blueprint for the new era of twin flame embodiment. So, this is what literally happens. After the purging, what remains is just not survival. What remains is soul level freedom, soul sovereignty. You are not the person you were when the connection began. You are not the seeker, the runner, the abandoned, the chaser, everything. You are now the embodied keeper of divine union codes. You have faced the void and emerged, not desperate, but distilled. So the divine masculine is no longer caught in between. So this is the rise. This is the sign that he has returned. And this is through both us, divine feminine and the divine masculine. So what is the third energy? So the third energy is the sacred field that exists between monadic twin flames after both have undergone deep purification. It is not you, not them, but the alchemical frequency created when two whole beings hold God between them, the God frequency. So the third energy is God frequency. So it becomes a blueprint for new earth relationship dynamics. So often that's the reason why, like what I do, we start teaching, we start doing things aligned with our purpose and mission. So in my case, my divine masculine might not, co-create these courses with me, but he is, supporting me, nurturing me, guiding me, and that's what he did back then, and that's what he's doing right now as well. So in my own experience, I actually took a break from psychic work. I wanted to fully focus in my law career, but my divine masculine gave me the confidence that I could do both. So after like a two-year break between 2018 to 2020, I actually came back, and this time I again, God's guidance, I came back not only as a soul historian, Akashic Records reader, but as a twin flame psychic. And this was inspired by my divine masculine, because he was like, the moment when we had the conversation that I'm actually a psychic, he was like, why would you stop doing this service, So it's the same thing. You get a glimpse of the third energy in the initial stages, and it is the fuel for you to do your work. And then after the purging and after the early stages of union, you will notice that you start to expand further. So that's why the third energy becomes a blueprint for new earth relationship dynamics, the vibrational cradle of divine co-creation, the spark that activates global soul mission. So that's why, by myself, I can do anything, anything is possible. But after getting into union, it becomes infinite and expansive, because the beautiful thing about the divine masculine energy is that the divine masculine truly inspires the wisdom, the inner goddess power within us. It gets activated to a new level, so he can really we can really inspire one another, and that's what's beautiful. It's no longer about me and him giving each other eternal kisses, and it's more about mission. It's about what can you offer to the world, what can you do to make the world a better place. It's about breaking distorted divine masculine templates. It's about breaking, that's my mission, right? Distorted divine feminine templates. It's about breaking everything that doesn't serve the journey anymore. It's about inspiring each and every one of you to find your own light. So that's what actually happens in union. The spark that activates the global mission, that's what I'm talking about. So before the purge, the energy is distorted, projection, trauma, unconscious programming. After the purge, it becomes a living portal. That's why the third energy is not romantic. It is revelatory. It's revelation. It's where purpose meets presence. So let's look into the soul mechanics of third energy anchoring. Once both flames have reclaimed their sovereignty, the third energy begins to stabilize in the etheric field, even across distance. You will begin to notice mutual mirroring without emotional destabilization, shared synchronicities and mission downloads, a sacred telepathic neutrality, knowing without grasping, alignment in timelines, purpose, or life upgrades, even silently. The energy is now fertile. It begins to bloom through you before it brings you together. So that's what happens, Before I got into union, I was really, really going into my soul mission. And there was a time where my clients would ask, hey, you are like, there is a difference in your energy, it's like you're totally different. And I'm like, I was very, very detached when union took place. I was at a stage where I am till now, even after union, in a full soul mission, soul focused place. So this is what I mean. The energy is now fertile. It begins to bloom through you before it brings you together. So that's why at this stage you may launch a soul mission practice, something to do with spirituality, the arts, something to empower humanity. You might start a community center, you might change careers, or you might bring the level of wisdom into the current career you are in. So you would speak your voice online or in ceremony, lead others through what you have transmuted, build structures to hold reunion, foundations, travel, community, businesses aligned with that. So remember, union cannot land in an unanchored life. Third energy brings the structure for love to rest in. Okay, sorry, I had to adjust my icon. So the rise of the divine feminine monadic flame. The divine feminine after the purge, we often experience a soul rooting in our body, our voice and power, a rejection of victim complex, martyrdom, or waiting, a calling to mother our own mission, not chase another's validation. At this stage, you're no longer looking for your DM to say, hey, good job, you did good, or, reminding your divine masculine, hey, I am your divine feminine. Nope. You're at a stage whereby you become deep, you experience a deep state of becoming, a deep and then a deep state of becoming that truly anchors you to your soul purpose. Okay. So, a steel magnetic field that calls the masculine home by presence, not by pull. So, this is when my divine masculine return. This is when your divine masculine will also return, not by pull, not by force, but by presence. So, when we become the priestess of our own temple, the goddess of our own kingdom, the oracle of our own timing, the lighthouse, not the searchlight, this is when. So, this is not about, as a divine feminine being done with your DM. No, it means you are done with misidentifying love as longing. So this is when I become union myself. You become union yourself. As a divine feminine, you become union yourself. And from that vibration, your divine masculine hears you more clearly than ever. So this is when the rise of the divine masculine flame takes place. So the divine masculine often awakens a little later in the journey, even though subconsciously he is more awakened. That's why I did a discourse that the divine masculine is more awakened than the divine feminine. So, yes, he often awakens later, consciously, and he begins to feel the echo of the soul born, now freed from distortion. The desire to rebuild his life on truth, not strategy. This is the time where he often, quits his job, resigns from a career that he built for like 15, 20 years, where he starts to choose soul aligned work. So this is when an humble ache to return, not to fix, but to meet you, his divine feminine, as an equal transpires. So this is the exact moment when my divine masculine met me too. So this is the point where the masculine no longer is in the vibration of resistance. This is when the divine masculine re-enters through integrity. So signs of his activation: he returns to structure but in service to love. He makes quiet moves behind the scenes, clearing karma, reorienting his path. He may not speak yet, but you'll feel his field beginning to reintegrate into yours. He does not come back to save you, remember. He comes back because you never left his soul. So the mission as the bridge between flame. So in the anchoring of the third energy, both twin flames begin to activate sacred service. This doesn't mean both of you immediately partner in work or projects. Like myself, we didn't immediately partner into work or projects. In my situation, we kind of complement each other. But remember, your separate soul work begins to align in frequency, echo each other's essence, build towards the same collective vibration. So it's kind of like what you were doing on your own and what he was doing on his own. It would start to complement each other. Your skill sets will come in together to truly, fully anchor into service to humanity. So the third energy births healing modalities, new relationship templates, star state activation books, courses, temples, retreats, portals, literally the impossible. So anchoring of love in legal, corporate, and spiritual arenas, this is all what it anchors. This is where love stops becoming a personal emotion and becomes a planetary offering. Remember, true twin flame union serves not the self but the whole. Love becomes light work. So, pathways to physical reunion post purging. Now, let's turn to the question that quietly lives in all of your hearts. When, how does reunion happen? In body, not just spirit. So once third energy is anchored, the universe begins aligning divine intersections, travel, work, soul, tribe. Communication may restart through synchronicities, dream, or sacred context. So what I started experiencing is, after a period of detachment, there was slowly a lot of dreams coming in. There was a lot of telepathic visions and communication coming in. And that's when our physical reunion began. So both souls feel a subtle energetic pull, but without fear or compulsion of all. What you will notice is the feeling of inevitability without urgency, the drop of resentment, bargaining, or agenda, the body saying yes to love again. Sometimes this looks like a message, sometimes it looks like a bump in, sometimes it's not written but completion, because remember, from this moment onwards, it's everything. So, when this final merging occurs, it's about infinity, it's about growing and awakening constantly. So yet remember, in every moment of this sacred sovereignty, you're already in union, and from the truth, physical reunion can land gently, powerfully, and divinely. So remember, the twin flame connection is not gone, it has transformed. And this is what the rise looks like. You are embodying, you are becoming, and in doing so, the field you radiate becomes the call, not just for your twin flame, but for the world you come to serve through love. And this is the rise, not because the flame was reignited, but because you never let it die. So, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this discourse. Of course, we'll delve deeper into any parts of it. So, I'm going to open the floor to questions, and then I'm going to do a live channeling, and then we will call it a day. So, I think I lost a lot of you guys. Oh dear. There's, yeah. So I don't see any questions. Oh, okay. Moni asks the question, why do our guides go silent? Because you transcend beyond verbal, you transcend beyond the need for synchronicities or help from your guides anymore. You merge with oneness, so you no longer need for your guides to speak to you anymore, to validate the connection anymore. So you transcend into, I would often call this the eighth dimensional, ninth dimensional frequency. So from there, it all becomes one. You don't need your guides from 5D or 6D to remind you, hey, this is what's going on. And that's the reason why they go silent. Michael is saying, I've recently awakened to being an energy worker. Well done. Kayla is back. Perfect. All right. If you guys have no questions, I'm going to go into channeling. So my list for today is Arin, Goodney, Diana, Rachel, Kayla, and Moni, and Dawn. So this is my list. And guys, before I start, I highly recommend the 7/7 portal healing and activations. It's a sacred triangulation of energies through the seventh dimension, Mintakan, Syrian, and Palladian energies. It's truly a one-of-a-kind activation. So if you're watching this video, you can enjoy a 10% discount. You have to type in 7/7 portal at checkout. And the 6 healings that I've offered, they are all on sale, so do check them out. They are very unique, very powerful, and I highly recommend them. All right. With that, I don't see any questions. I'm going to go right into channeling. So I'm going to start with Arin. All right. I actually missed doing long discourses. So, back in November, December, I was like, I'm doing discourses for like 5 hours. This has to stop because, like it was just becoming like so long. Like half a day would be gone. So I thought, I'll go back to my previous way of delivering discourses, is just do everything within an hour. But now I'm like, okay, I'll try to find a balance, not too long, not too short, but a balance. So all right, so Arin, let's see. Okay. Arin's question is, hello V, I'm having a hard time during this shedding process. I think my twin is dating other people, and I asked her, but I think she's lying. She keeps saying you are not my boyfriend, etc. And it's true, but why does it feel like I'm dying inside? This is the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. I don't know how to get through this. I just want to make it stop. I'm so sorry, Arin, that you have to go through this. It is very painful. It is really, when you are going through that, it is very painful. But remember, what your twin is going through is going through a karmic experience probably, and that karmic is teaching her a way back to you. So what she's going through is actually for both of you to get into union. So that temporary diversion is actually aligning you back into your power. So this is a period of pain transmutation. You really, really have to accept that even though as twin flames you're one, you still have to honor and give each other personal sovereignty. And it can be very difficult because it's like you cannot fathom the fact that your twin can be with another person. But remember, it's temporary. It's often a mirror back to you. Because that karmic experience that your twin is going through is actually a reminder of what she's losing out with you. That's what's actually going on. So it is going to stop, and it's going to stop faster than you imagine, and your twin is actually going to come back to you and actually apologize for her behavior deeply, profoundly, and it's going to happen very, very soon. But what you got to do is you got to truly, truly anchor yourself, and you have to navigate through this very calmly. You cannot operate from the level of ego. You cannot let this affect you on an ego level. You have to surrender. You have to understand that there is nothing you can do at this moment but to transcend, to allow things to flow in divine timing. So the messages that I'm getting from your guides is to hang in there, to try your best, and things will get together, and to trust that your twin flame is going to come back to you, because she is coming back to you, and she will come back to you. And whatever that's happening right now, it's just a temporary situation that's happening for your twin flame to understand and to be taught what love is, so that she can return back to you, which is unconditional love. So with that, I hope you have enjoyed this channeling. Next up, I have got Goodney. Let me get a question. So question is, I would love to know as much as possible about the song he sent me. What does it mean to him? Does it represent his feelings, or has he written it for someone else? What was his intention behind sending it to me? Has he been working on it for a long time? Why has he not sent me the text? All right, so this is very pure, and I really, really love the way you have posed your question. So he wrote the song for you. It means the world to him. It does represent his feelings. He has written it for you and only you, and it took a long time for him to write it for you. And he was in the energy where he couldn't wait to share it with you. So he sent it to you because it's not just a song, but it's an energy exchange. It's an energy transformation. It's codes to activate your journey further, and it's also layered in the missions that you're undertaking as well. He has been working on it for a very long time. He hasn't sent you the text because he's not able to. There's some technological stuff that he's experiencing. That's why he's not able to he's not able to come to your request soon, but he will send it to you very soon. But deep down, he's so happy, he's so proud, and he truly, truly wrote this for you. And it's very, very beautiful, because not only are there a sacred exchange of codes, but there's also a deep anchor of memory codes activation. So what I'm hearing from your divine masculine's higher self is to keep hearing the music and to see beyond the words, to see beyond the music, because there's something more that he's trying to send to you. But it's all a sign of a pre-union, post-purging. Everything is coming together. So you might be experiencing the final stage of purging right now, but all will be well, Goodney. The messages from your DM is that he is so in love with you, and he can't wait to be with you. So there is so much going on at the moment energetically. Your guides want you to know that the time has come for you to truly, truly reintegrate your energies to the present and to go with the flow. So the energies are quite heavy because of the pre-moon energies in Capricorn. So you might be feeling the need for structure, but trust your intuition and just go with the flow, and everything is going to just happen in sacred divinity and sacred flow. So it's just beautiful. Everything is happening for a reason, everything is happening for a divine purpose, and most importantly, everything is happening in divine timing. And Goodney, I hope you have enjoyed this channeling. And next up, I have got Kayla. All right, Kayla, you said you had asked the question there. Let me go and have a look. All right. Current energies between me and my twin flames. So, Kayla, the current energies between you and your divine masculine, excuse me, is actually very, very beautiful, very, very pure. I see a lot of purging happening. I also see a lot of catharsis, and a lot of there is a it's like renewal is the theme of today's reading. There's a lot of rebirth and renewal because your divine masculine is literally shedding old skin and becoming a newer, more profound version of himself. And he really, really wants to meet you in this divinity, but yet the only thing that is holding him back is his own navigation through the thinning of the veil. So that's why you're both at a stage whereby it's no longer about union, it's no longer about anything anymore. It's no longer even about presence or merging or union. It's beyond that. So that's the reason why what is happening in your connection is so beautifully woven in by the divine itself, you know. So you guys are operating from the third energy in little pulses. So this is just going to continue to grow. So the messages that I'm getting from your divine masculine is that he wants you to know that you are in for a lot of changes, and he's also saying he's in for a lot of changes, but these changes are going to create more surprises than distortion. So this is going to be a period of divine awakening, renewal, divine changes, you know. So that's what's coming through. Your guides want you to know, Kayla, that this is a period, a golden period of miracles that are meant to come in. This is a period of exchanges of energies in the ether, in so many different ways. So you just have to go with the flow. So his messages to you is that he loves you in every form, in every lifetime, in every way that is possible, and infinitely he will continue carrying this flame of divine love forever and forevermore. And your divine masculine says that he's so proud of you, how far you've come, and how what was going to break you actually made you stronger. And he says that he will never do anything consciously to ever hurt you, and everything that may have happened in the past was only part of the divine plan. So with that, Kayla, I hope you have enjoyed this channeling. 1112. I'm seeing so much angel numbers lately, and for me, I've always said when I see a lot of angel numbers, it indicates travel, you know, sacred travel. So it'll be some kind of a work trip that brings me to a corner of earth where I'll be like working and also doing light work. All right, next up I have got Tracy. Tracy as well. All right, Tracy. So Tracy's question is, would love an update on how he's feeling, please. Still no reunion update. Caught up last night. He said he doesn't love me. Well, you know, this is typical of a divine masculine to say. And actually, because he said this, it shows that your journey of purging has been kick-started. And union is not far away. Because he's going to turn back around in these words. Oops, sorry about that. Just wanted to move this a bit. He's going to turn back. He's going to turn around, Tracy, and he's going to completely dismiss all of this, and he's going to be like, did I ever say this? So this is what's actually going on at the moment, you know. He is going through this sacred period of emotional reintegration and transformation. So in a way, he's stuck in his man cave, and he's not able to deal with your sacred, powerful, pure love. So he has to start saying these kind of things to push you away, and it's a typical divine masculine behavior, but actually it is a blessing in disguise, because it confirms more powerfully union is happening in this lifetime. But what is actually going to happen to you is that you are going to fully break out of the ego cycle, and you're going to transcend into your full goddess version. You're going to truly embody love, become love, and truly show your divine masculine that you are never in separation, that separation in itself is an illusion. So this is what you are going to teach him in the ether. So this is not even a setback. In fact, this is growth in a twin flame journey. Divine masculine rejection is a gift in disguise for union. So don't worry, Tracy, everything is happening in your favor. Things are actually becoming better. Just go with the flow. Do not get affected. Do not feel like, hey, this is the end, because this isn't. In fact, this is the beginning. With that, I hope you have enjoyed this channeling. Next up, I have got Diana. Let me see. All right. Diana is saying, the update is that there's no update. Mr. W has completely turned me out. Complete silence, no communication. So I'm giving back that same energy at the moment. I know I'm not well at the moment mentally, and trying to communicate with him isn't helping. So I'm just not. His lack of response triggers me. I'm doing all I can to get better, and I have no idea what to do about him. So I just sit here with the abandoned feelings and get on with what I need to do. I feel very lost with no direction for the first time in my life. What does he want from me? Or is there someone else now? I don't know what is going on with him anymore. One day at a time. Thank you, V. Thank you, V, for everything. Always love the weekend for your discourses, even if I'm having to catch the recording later. They are always so insightful, helpful, and fill me with some hope. Thank you for everything you do. Oh, you're most welcome, Diana. And all right, what is going on for you is astrologically, due to Neptune retrograde, everything that you are experiencing is actually an outlay of what is going on with the cosmic weather. So I can confirm there is no other person, but the reason why he's falling back is because Neptune retrograde brings about disillusionment. So he's actually going back to the start, and he's going to meet you in the present. So it's kind of going through a final process of divine catharsis. That's what's happening with him. And that's why he's kind of gone into his man cave and he's become completely silent. But in actuality, he's transmuting a lot of distortions that he has been holding back, a lot of pain, a lot of struggle, a lot of mentally challenging wisdom that is coming through, because he is like, his Aries energy, being an Aries sun, he's trying to transmute that into the unknown. So it's kind of like navigating reality with illusion. So, it will only last for a few weeks at maximum, but he's going to come back a better version of himself. He's going to come back renewed, with much more power, with much more vigor, and this time around he's going to sweep you off your feet and he's going to propose. That's what I'm feeling. Your union timeline is anchored deeper than ever. Things are coming together, Diana. You just have to be who you are, where you are, and just keep being your goddess self always. With that, I hope you have enjoyed this channeling. And Rachel, hi Vash, how is Carrie feeling about me recently, and will we communicate soon? Well, Carrie is going through the whole divine masculine reset, so he's going through this identity crisis where his ego is falling, his identity is collapsing, his mind is, getting lost. So he is literally an insane man in an insane world. But this insanity is going to lead him into spiritual sanity. So that's where he is at. And definitely you will communicate soon when he transmutes those distortion and he becomes wiser and more aligned to the sacredness of this journey. So that's where you guys are at. So energetically what I'm picking up is you are going through this sacred time period of divine awareness, and also this is a period of a lot of sacred transmissions coming through as well. So it's no longer about being trapped in a cycle, but this time around it's going to be different. So your divine masculine is going to not only come more with more potential in a more awakened state, but he's going to come in with everything he's got, not on a 3D physical level but on a multi-dimensional level. So you're going to notice this change. So it's not going to be about repeating patterns anymore, it's about collapsing patterns, because both of you are mirroring a ego collapse right now. So Rachel, I hope you have enjoyed this channeling, and next up I have got Kayla. All right, just give me a moment. All right, I've done Kayla just now. So the next person I have would be Monique. Energy update, Eric's current feelings, anything upcoming. So it's very interesting with Eric, because I feel like he's in the crossroads. He's in the crossroads of fully transitioning from the material world to the anti-material world, but at the same time his mind and ego are blocking him from going through this full transformation. But it is shedding in divine timing. So whether he likes it or not, the purge is happening. The purging is happening at a rate where he's not able to handle it. So his physical body is adjusting to the change in many different ways. So you may be noticing a lot of synchronicities at the moment as a divine light, a divine guidance. So the messages that I'm getting from your divine masculine is that he wants you to know that you portray a purer version of love. In fact, you portray the purest version of love he has ever experienced. But however, his insecurity, his identity crisis is preventing him from fully understanding you, from fully embracing you. He's fearing what he thinks is going to break him, but he doesn't understand that what he's fearing is what's going to make him, is going to align him. So that is the crossroads he is in right now. But this sacred window, especially with Neptune retrograde, is going to truly allow him to transmute into another level of consciousness, and this is going to set path to renewed communication, stable union, and other things. So I'm seeing a lot of blue and yellow in your combined energetic field. So it's about communication that comes with identity, and I see wisdom as well. So this is a very beautiful period for you to just go with the flow and just be your beautiful self always, Moni. So that is the magic of the season for you and your DM, is to just go with the flow. And your guides want you to know that you are beautiful the way you are, perfect the way you are, and you're doing everything in the most divine and purest way. With that, Moni, I hope you have enjoyed this channeling. And let me see. Finally, I have Dawn. So, Dawn, do you have a particular question, or do you want me to just do a general channeling? So, while I wait for Dawn's question, I'll just want to say, and the beautiful thing is, before you come into union, like full union, you will notice a glow from within you, and a glow that everyone else will notice as well. All right, Dawn says general. So, Dawn, always a pleasure to do your reading. So again, you're being anchored into your starseed missions and codes more and more. Your soul work is actually coming into fruition. So the opportunities, the connections, the contacts you're getting are part of a divine alignment that is occurring right now. So literally, it's no longer about living. It's about it's about beyond survival and beyond living. It's about becoming one with consciousness. So you are at a period of great transition whereby your soul purpose and soul work are coming together in creating this sacred pathway for humanity. So that's why you will be attracting key investors, key contacts, and these contacts will come to you without effort. And you will also notice that your divine masculine will start to slowly find his way back to you, because you are at a point where you're breaking out of the delusion completely, and off those roles that are set. Oh, a divine feminine should be this, a divine, you're actually breaking past all of the conditionings beyond words, beyond knowledge, and you're shooting right up to 8D. So your frequencies are really high at the moment. So manifestation is also very high at the moment. You just have to go with the flow and just anchor in what is necessary. The messages I'm getting from your guides are just to go with the flow. Everything is going to come in at the right time with the most beautiful opportunities that are going to nurture you and bring you to the next level of service. So that's what's going on energetically. Again, the surprise return of your divine masculine is already written in the stars. He's going to come back exactly at the point where your soul work is going to take off. So it's kind of a recognition and inspiration, and then your path is set. A new template of love is going to be set, and everything that happens after is going to be heavenly. It's going to be like a fairy tale, but a twin flame fairy tale, of course. With that, Dawn, I hope you have enjoyed this channeling, and guys, I hope you have enjoyed this discourse. Sorry that I was cut off, and again, I don't know why it happens. I'm changing my internet, so let's see. The patchwork started, and they're going to, I think, do it next week or so. I'm glad there's no more sound issues because I got my YouTuber's mic. Anyway, I 3 more spots left for the 7/7 portal healing. If you guys are watching this video, you can enjoy a 10% off at checkout. 7/7 portal. And then I'll recommend the 6 healings and activations that are on promo till the 17th of July. Each and every one of them are highly recommended and are necessary for your journey. So again, when it comes to choosing healings and activations, I will always say follow your heart, because your soul knows best what you need at the time. So with that, have an amazing weekend. I am so inspired to do more discourses for you guys. So if you have a topic that you want me to delve deeper, let me know. And with that, I will see you all again soon. Take care. May God bless you all always. And I thank you all for your tips and support, because this creates more time for me to create more content. So I really appreciate your generosity, the abundance, and it's such a pleasure doing healings and activations for all of you. And lately I'm doing more soul reports, I'm doing more Akashic records reading. So if you guys are interested, you can book a session via my website. Of course, recently I had a request, a client wanted report written again. So if you guys want a written report, I can, because I stopped offering that. But so I do offer video call sessions, live video call sessions, one-on-one, and I can also do written reports if you're not able to come on camera. Of course, healings can be conducted via video call, except for the healings that are like 7 days, 8 days. I can do a portion of it via video call and talk about it. or I can do all healings remotely as well. So, with that, may you all be blessed with divine light. And I really hope you enjoyed today's discourse, because I really enjoyed channeling it, delivering it, and talking to y'all about it, and sharing my own sacred experiences that both me and my divine masculine, we hold it very close to our heart. But you know what? If we can inspire, again, it's God's will. And I hope you guys get inspired in your own journey. And if you guys want to share your experience, you can do so in the comments. And all the best. And lately, so many unions are coming together. Like I always say, Neptune retrograde, Venus retrograde is also a period of unions. Neptune retrograde is also a period of unions. So more and more unions to you all. May God bless you all always. Remember, connect directly with God, connect directly with cosmic consciousness. And with that, I'll see you all again next week with a much more beautiful discourse. Take care and bye bye, and love you all always. And thank you all for your support. Take care and bye.